We've got another friend, longtime friend of ours here, and actually the son of a longtime friend as well, Eric Scheidler, and he's going to bring us up to date on some things that are going on up in Aurora, where we know the pro-aborts admitted that they lied and used fraud to get a building permit to build this new mega $1 million death camp up there. Oh no, they wouldn't do that. No, they wouldn't do that sort of thing. Eric Scheidler's with us. Oh, hello, Eric.
How do you do?
Fine, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Thanks for being with us this morning. Listen, real quickly, there's some bizarre things going on up there. You guys are still picketing and protesting, but the police are having some very weird takes on this. Am I right to understand that they're saying that pro-life, if people are standing on the sidewalk praying, that's okay as long as they're not praying about abortion?
I'm not sure if they'll let you pray about anything anymore here in Aurora, Illinois. There's a street across the street from this abortion facility, and a gentleman was walking up and down the sidewalk praying with his baby daughter while his wife was across the street from Planned Parenthood counseling. And there was a protest going on at the same time elsewhere in the vicinity, but this man was all by himself, Roger Earl, and the police came up to him and asked him what he was praying about and told him if he was praying about abortion, he had to move to the other side of the street because he was in front of some townhouses. And they have a ordinance against picketing in front of a residence. This man walking up and down praying is picketing somehow.
But are they saying that if he was praying about something else, then it would have been okay?
Well, they did ask him what he was praying about. So presumably if he had been praying about, the war in Iraq or praying for the health of our mayor, it would have been okay.
The thought police are after us.
Can you believe we've come to that in this country?
Well, another factor that they cited in telling this man to move across the street was that he was wearing a pair of precious feet pins on his lapel. This was a pro-life insignia. So now a precious feet pin is a picket sign.
So in other words, if you just have a lapel pin, you can't protest. But if you take that lapel pin off, then you can walk back and forth.
Perhaps. It's hard to know what they're doing here. But the thing is, they're freaked out by the fact that we've been fighting this place so hard and that we're not backing down. And I think it's important, it's essential that everywhere across the country we stand firm in our activism and in our protests, because we are the only ones, Mark, who are holding the line against the destruction of our First Amendment rights in this country.
Absolutely.
Well, you're also the only one holding the line, or the pro-life movement is the only one holding the line against the destruction of innocent human life. And we just commend your efforts up there in Aurora, and you have been so steadfast and continuing in protesting that. And I've got to believe that's going to produce some fruit here in due season.
Absolutely. You just have to stay at it, just like we've done in other places. Yep. You have to be dedicated to it and stay after it, and eventually it will produce fruit. Let me ask you something, Eric. I've got a real interesting question for you. Given that all this stuff is coming out in the public, how many calls have you gotten from the ACLU willing to defend your right to free speech when this is clearly a free speech issue? If the police are saying, what are you praying about? Which is to indicate if you're praying about abortion, you can't stay, but if you're praying about something else, you can. This is clearly an infringement on your right to free exercise of religion and your right to free speech. How many calls have you gotten from the ACLU?
I'm sure their phone lines must be down, because that's the only way to explain the fact that they have not called us yet.
But you are going to sue, aren't you?
We've got a federal case that's been going ever since our protest started in August, and we just amended that complaint to include these and other recent outrages.
There you go. Add a few more causes of action.
Absolutely.
And then once again, it upsets me the side the police is always taking.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because, Eric, that abortion facility is right near a lot of other houses and everything, isn't it?
That's right. It's right in the neighborhood.
So there's no problem with having a place that'll kill the babies, but please don't have
any residential area.
Yeah, but please don't have anybody out there praying against it.
Or have a little lapel pin.
I should say that the patrolmen themselves are great guys, and they've been very cooperative and very complimentary to our protest. It's the upper brass who seem to have some kind of special commitment to Planned Parenthood that are really our problem.
Well, I would suspect, Eric, if the truth could ever be wrangled out of these people, that Planned Parenthood has gone and sat down with them, sat across the table from them.
Well, we're also in a major zoning battle over the deceptive way Planned Parenthood came to town, and I believe many of these facts are going to come out over the coming months as we begin to depose some of these officials who have so far remained silent.
Right. Great. Well, listen, you guys keep up the pressure, and thanks for being with us this morning.
Thanks much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Eric.